for sticking with Hello Day. We appreciate your company. And for you watching, please tell a friend to tell a friend about this podcast. Welcome to episode 7. And this time around, we are jumping into mental health awareness issues, okay? You've seen a lot of what's going on. You've got a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, depression, ongoing. I don't know. People are just dealing with a lot. Whatever the root cause of that is, we're here to talk to you literally about facing and overcoming adversity. Why is it important? Because it starts with the mind, and that's the only way we are going to tackle these issues, trust me. My guest this time around is the perfect person because I describe her as an overcomer. She's an achiever by the way, in my opinion, such an achiever. I love what she's doing with herself. She goes by the name of Zuhura Kuria. She is an entrepreneur who specializes in the Airbnb business. Zuhura, welcome.
Thank you, Shiko.
I was just actually saying I didn't think it would be this quick to find you on my podcast, because when we met and you were just talking to me about life and all the things that you've been through, I was like, wow, how did you do it? People could learn a thing or two about starting over. So first of all, I mean, your journey has been interesting. Now you're in the Airbnb space. So how's that like?
Well, it has its highs and lows. Definitely challenging, as any other business would be. But I did not choose this path. I think it chose me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just gelling. Like, you enjoy the rental business. You enjoy hosting people, meeting people.
Absolutely. It's you have to be like a homemaker,
right?
Because
it's a home away from home.
Exactly. You always have to make sure everything is on point. Every each and every aspect of the house is packed and clean and all of that. But that's not even the most challenging. It's the marketing. It's the how many Airbnbs are now, and what sets you apart, and how you getting your clients. Yes, and to even get the kind of clients who you want to pay what you're worth, or what you feel that you're worth. So there's so many aspects to it.
Right? And then the murders were not helping.
Oh gosh, I actually closed two Airbnbs at the time.
Right?
Yeah, because it happened in the building that I was renting one of them.
No way.
I swear.
I actually meant that as for real.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I had to get my stuff in storage for like 2-3 months.
I'm so sorry about that, because but that was like, everyone being on a chopping block, because what could you do? I mean, the confidence in rentals was very, very low at the time.
I took a leap, because the ones I have in Nairobi, I set it out in South B. Yeah. So, and I live all the way. So anyway. But I'm glad I did, because it has taught me everything I need to know. And I'm using all those skills until now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you need to be ready for anything. Like, who would have thought that would have been an issue? Okay, so now that we actually understand what you're doing currently, I need you to take us a little bit back, because when we're talking about overcoming and starting afresh, you obviously started somewhere. It's long. The story is long, but she promised that she'll put it in a nutshell. So
well, I went to uni in Australia. I came back right after my graduation in 2012. I think 2011, 2012. And I had to take over the family business.
Okay.
Right? But I didn't take over a family business that was making money. I took over a family business that was losses and rent. Like, we had businesses that we had to pay rent to, and there's not enough coming in to cover for any of that. So I had to get resourceful. From that, I think I was like 21, 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can imagine people seeing a 20-something-year-old trying to have that command in
it did not go well. It did not go well at all. There was a lot of pushback. There's a lot of, who does she think she is? There's a lot of what is she telling us? There was a lot of resistance. A lot, from family, from friends. Well, not really from friends, because they didn't really get to know what I was doing, but from anyone who I was commanding.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. Was like, what is this person trying to tell me? Because now you're the boss, and typically your staff are older than you.
It didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
It didn't, and actually most of the stuff was family.
Even worse. Yeah, working with family. That's another story.
That's a different dynamic.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to get resourceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think even like just, tying into even what we are talking about, the things that you are facing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand the emotions behind it is so key, because the people who are watching this show or this episode rather will relate to that. I'm trying to get something done, but there's this pushback. This pushback makes me feel some type of way. Can I really do this?
So, I've never been one to like doubt myself. Like, I don't know, if I put my mind to something, I will get it done. But because of the emotional turmoil from the resistance, it wasn't the hardship of what I was supposed to do. I think we've talked about this. I do have ADHD, and I do thrive with multitasking.
Yeah.
I don't thrive well. I don't do well in a linear environment. But it was the emotional backlash and the resilience that I had to endure. But before that, I took a different turn, and I got married at 22 because I was running away from the emotions of everything else that was going on.
Why? Did you feel like marriage was a solace?
No, it was to someone that I had been with ever since I was in high school, or like that was my first. Yeah. So, but I didn't understand what I was getting into. Yeah. So that also took me in another direction.
Right. So now here you are trying to get run this business.
Yeah.
Then now you're into marriage very young. I guess it depends on how you're looking at it.
No, very young. Because all I needed from that partnership was emotional stability.
Yeah.
I just,
You didn't think there was anything else to it.
I wasn't really looking for anything else, really. I just wanted that emotional stability and comfort as I'm pushing through everything else that was going through.
Then you come and find out marriage has so many dynamics to it.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
Adulting is not fun. Okay, so for you, I know you've said that if you put your mind to something, you will get it done. But honestly, what were the day-to-day steps that you were taking in order not to implode while running this business, while navigating marriage?
I started reading when I was young, and it helped me a lot because I journal every day. Yeah, it's like my thing. And that helps me put my mind at ease. It helps me put things together, writing things down on paper. I actually have a page called My Soul Speaks, where I just pour out and I don't like people knowing that it's me, because I want to have a place where I can say things without judgment. Anyway, that helped me a lot. Writing, getting that quiet time, spirituality, I must say. Centered. I'm one person who my brain is very scattered. So I need to center myself.
Right. And do you think that's really what the issue is with most people? When we talk about how many mental health issues are out there today, with so many young people getting stressed about things that you would think they are 55. It's like they have like 10 acres of land they have to take care of. They have like 10 kids and you're just like, oh my God, you're in second year in campus. Calm down. Why are you depressed? Like, what is going on in your life that can cause you to actually be flipping out like this?
Responsibility makes you grow, not your age. So if people are going through responsibility for whatever reason, because there's no perfect situation. Someone's parent died when they were young. Something has happened that has made you have to take over, or even if it's not for your family but for yourself too. And you might not know where to start. So it's not literally about age. It's just the cards that you've been dealt with and how you're going to deal with them. When life throws that at you, okay, so now where do we start? My mantra is use what you have with do what you can with what you have. Start with whatever that you have.
Absolutely. Even TD Jake says that, by the way, you've got to use what you got.
It doesn't matter how small it is. If it can take you till tomorrow, it will be sufficient, and then the next day it will be something else, and it's like that.
But one thing that I've picked up from what you said is that you actually had to take time to invest in centering yourself.
Yeah.
Because the book is not going to read itself.
Yeah. Oh, therapy. I did therapy.
And you did therapy.
Yes.
I went for therapy. This is about investing in yourself.
Yes.
So that's,
and I went for therapy because I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was losing my memory. Like literally. I would not remember what I did yesterday. Stress can do that to you. I felt like I could not concentrate. And concentration is something that I've dealt with for a long time. So I needed to understand what's going on with me. Like what's the root cause of all of this? So I went, I was diagnosed with ADHD, went to see from Jenga. And then after that, I started therapy and I started cognitive CBT. Yeah. CBT, and slowly it helped me arrange, because for me, it's not about the big things. Yeah. It's about the small things, like arranging something is very tedious for me. But big ideas and big things, that's my norm.
Right. Yeah. I love that. And so putting in the work, I think, is what very many of us don't do, because we expect like miracles to happen, but then we're not applying daily routines to help us go through each day.
I'm guilty of that too, because I should be going back to therapy. I haven't done it for a while, and I feel like
take me with you.
Yeah, can we please? Because I feel like if I could afford it, I would do it for the rest of my life.
Because this shit is expensive.
It is expensive, right? Expensive. But how the preparedness of it, I think something has to really happen to push you. You know, as human beings, I don't know what it is. Like when you can manage, you're like, I'm good. You know, but now when something shoves you, you're like, okay, fine, where's that therapist?
I know.
Yeah,
it's just the way,
it's like something has to happen, something grand.
Yeah, the way Kenyans always say, no, me, I don't have money for that. But when you're put on the spotlight and you're being told this thing is this much, what I can pay. Yeah, suddenly you can do it. So I think that it's also interesting that you have managed to start over so many times in different spheres of your life.
Yeah. When I came back, I was employed, I think, for like less than a year. Then I was fired.
Oh no!
I used to work for a magazine.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's actually how I do know Zuhura. Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God. And I remember thinking, like, why can't I? But that's because on the side I was selling dogs. Like I was breeding. I've always been entrepreneurial. Yeah. I was making cushions.
Yes.
You know, like I was just doing
7 hustles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there was, and then I, just as I said, staying on one place for a long time wasn't going well for me. Yeah. So then I had to now leave that and figure out what my next step would be.
Yeah. Say something to the people who feel stuck career-wise.
Oh my gosh, I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Oh, stuck is, it's like a stuck and stagnant, I would say. And not just in the career place only, but also in life. You know, you can feel stuck. For example, if you are trying to get yourself out of a situation, but you have no means to do so, no front, no back, no... Anywhere you look at, it's like the world is, and the walls are closing in. There's no... It's like, for example, you lose your job, and every place that you go and apply, there's no hope. And that goes on for a year, and then it goes on for 2 years. You'll definitely feel stuck.
Yeah, and you're behind and everybody else is moving on, that type of feeling. Yeah,
I know that feeling.
Starting over in love, that's a big one. As Trump says, ooh, that's a big one.
Starting over in
love.
In love.
Yeah.
What about it?
Tell us. I mean, honestly speaking, you got married young.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't even need to get into the details.
Yeah, no worries.
But how did you make that transition? When did you even decide, okay, no, by the way, I think I got into this too soon?
After my son was born.
Yeah.
After like 2 or 3 years. And I remember there were things, it was the way of handling issues that would be either someone's ego is too fragile or the issues that you're discussing are too big for your age. Yeah. Both of you two. Because you got married for love.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't know there would be bills involved. You didn't know there would be responsibilities involved. You know, so all of a sudden you're having those discussions, and now it gets heated. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this before. So, I can't fault anyone. I would just say it's a part of life and living, and understanding that, you know, sometimes harsh decisions, making decisions when you're coming from a broken place, or when you're running, will always lead you to like a lesson, because it's not coming. It's not coming from a rightful heart space.
Wow.
Yeah. Any decision that you make, that you're running from something, or that you're fearful of something, if it's not a decision based in love, in wholeness, in internal wholeness, it's gonna cost you.
And you're gonna have to learn that lesson
You
over
learn.
and over
You will learn.
and over.
Absolutely.
So you'll keep starting over.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, you will. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Besides, you know, the whole idea of learning this lesson, I feel that many of us refuse to accept the reality of that.
It's because you don't understand what the root cause is. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to understand when you get. Have you ever been hurt proper?
Of course.
So you sit in yourself.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can I even let this happen to myself?
Yeah.
It's like the highest level of self-betrayal.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you get there, you're very angry at yourself because it's me. You think highly of yourself.
Yeah.
So when it happens, and, you know, then you have to go back into it like, okay, what did I need from this person that I couldn't give to myself?
Right.
Yeah. Why was I so vulnerable in that situation? What made me? Yeah. What made me? Vulnerable to that situation.
And compromise.
And that compromise, and what made me betray myself. So then you start answering those questions, and then those are the important questions.
Yeah. How did you forgive yourself?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, forgiveness is one of the hardest,
but
most
it's a superpower.
painful things. Yeah. Absolutely. I went back to what God thinks of me. Yeah. Not what I think of myself.
Wow, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, what God thinks of you.
Yeah.
Because that cancels out everything else.
Yeah.
It cancels out all the noise.
He must think pretty big of me if he's doing all he's giving me all this, you know, all these challenges.
Yeah.
He must really think I'm a G.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So moving forward, how do you intend now, you know, to live, to operate, to work, to love? How you doing this?
Oh, I think it's a continuous learning curve, and I think, as I said, I need to go back to therapy, because still, you can never be whole. I don't think wholeness is something that you can achieve.
Yeah,
I think it's something that you continue to pursue.
And that's wisdom, eh?
Yeah.
The fact that you know that you still have a long way to go, and that,
let me tell
we
you,
are all
we
in
don't
our
know
process.
anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
What you think you know?
You don't. It's true.
You don't.
Yeah.
So right now I'm at a place where I'm ready to be a student again, a student of life again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just pursue the things that I want to.
Yeah.
I like philosophy. I like psychology. And I have my passions.
Yeah.
And of course the businesses.
Right. So we've learned a lot about how to deal with the adversity. Okay, it comes, you have to face it. The question is, how do you deal with it? And the idea here is about just reframing, okay, that mindset. And one of the words that we tend to hear a lot, even from so many podcasters, experts today, is intention. Living with intention. What does that mean for you, Zuhura?
Before intention, there's a very important word, perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. How you perceive what you're going through is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's a mountain. To you, you're like, guy, if you only knew, you have no, that I don't think.
The perception comes from, is this a punishment or is it a lesson? Once you understand what it is and what makes sense to you, then you take it as such.
Okay.
Whatever is real to you, that's how you're going to take it. And if you take it as a punishment, then there'll be no way out.
Yeah.
You're completely stressed up about it or whatever. But if you take it as a lesson, you're willing to learn and you're willing to flourish.
Is whatever you're going through a punishment or a lesson?
Yeah.
Wow.
Perception.
If it's a punishment, you will feel stuck. And then the depression kicks in. Then now you have a whole plethora of issues.
Yeah.
Then the addiction kicks in.
Oof, let's not even go there.
Yeah. Because whatever it is that you will latch onto that makes you give you a good high, that's it.
We'll need to talk about addictions on another day.
But if it's a lesson, you begin to work your way
and
through it.
Even if it's a lesson, you will have the hard days, because before you figure out it's a lesson, you will have the whys.
Why is this happening to me?
So even
Why
if you
me?
haven't yet, it's a progress. Perspective is definitely a progress. Like it progresses. It's not something that you just have. It's not an epiphany that you just have all of a sudden. No. Wisdom is earned.
Would you also say that a very huge component to someone's healing journey, to that space, where you're wholesome, also relies on your environment? So community support factors.
I wish I could say that, because I didn't feel like I had none of that.
You were alone.
And I think I did. That was the hardest part for me. And
the reason I brought that up is because we're in an era where you're not supposed to be vulnerable. Actually, it's very shady for you to cry in public. What will people think, by the way, if you're on social media actually asking for help? And I've seen that so many times where people are, just trying to reach out, and everybody's like, yeah, bro, get it together. Chick, you're being too emotional.
Those ones who are saying that have not yet gone through the ringer. And if they're not careful,
it's true,
it's going to come to them too.
Right.
Never like think that if it happens to someone else, it can't happen to you. I think that's a very ignorant mentality. And I think also adversity gives you sympathy for other people and for whatever they're going through.
Because for you look at people like, you're human. I get it. I do. On so many levels. You look put together, but people don't know the panel beating umepitia.
Ni God.
Was saying ni God.
It's true.
I like that. Ni God.
It's a grace.
Absolutely. So understanding other people as well. Is only something you can do. You're empathetic when you've had your own journey. And you accept it.
And even if you don't, you see, it's like if you've slept hungry, you will rather share a piece of bread with someone else who you can see hungry because you know what it feels like. Most of us don't. And you'll drive past and you'll walk past and you'll, you know what I mean? But for the one who has, will stop and help. And sometimes that's why you go through what you go through, so you can stop and help other people.
Right. Okay, so I know that women tend to be very proactive in issues concerning their health. When it is that they need a shoulder to cry on, most likely it will be babes who are making progress in that area. But you've seen guys kind of break down. On, like, a lot of them are just imploding.
Actually, most guys who break down, especially on social, it's the guys. It's not even the babes. Have you noticed?
Oh, really?
Just think about it. With most people that you see breaking down, internationally or locally.
It's
the guys.
And I don't know, like, it would be nice if you were a guy speaking to guys, but I mean, what would you tell guys?
To be honest, I don't feel like I'm qualified to speak on a gender that I cannot relate to. But on a human level, I would say
take it easy.
No. There's a spirit within you. Connect with yourself again. Connect with your God again. That can really start to help.
And let me tell you, of course, there's always a method to the madness, because I want the women who have men who are going through issues to hear that and be like, oh, actually, today I'm going to go tell my boyfriend that, or my brother that, Be like, connect with
Connect with yourself again. And for the women who are supporting, as long as they're not in an abusive situation where you're trying to support someone who's mentally not doing well, but you're also getting abused, because sometimes that can be the case. You're trying to support someone through their issue, but they end up lashing out on you, and then you'll need the help too. So sometimes it's better to, if that's the situation, to support from a distance, or get them the help that they need, but professional help, because you don't have the tools to assist in when it's severe. But when it's just you can see someone is going, I think, I don't know, I stand corrected, but supporting in the sense of not telling them what to do or whatever, but just giving them the space and the environment for them to heal in their own peace and their own quiet.
Right.
By providing them with that silence and just, I'm here if you need me. But,
Okay. So the question should have actually been, what's the word to those who are supporting men who are going through their issue? And that's the answer. Give them that.
I'm here if you need me. We can even literally exist in the same space. Your food is ready if you're a wife, or because I was married, so I know that. Like, the environment is here for you to thrive. But it's not, I'm not in your face.
Fantastic. Well, Zuhura, I want to give you the opportunity to tell people about where to find you if you want to be found. Airbnb wise, not don't holler for the dates.
I have a page on Instagram called Orchidville Stays, and that's where I advertise my Airbnbs. I have some here in Nairobi. I have some in Mombasa, in Nyali. And the page is called Orchidville Stays.
Orchidville Stays. Okay. By the way, she's invited us to do one of our podcast recordings at her Airbnb. So
I have a 2-bedroom in Riverside that I think would be perfect.
We have been invited. Thank you so much for making it for this podcast. I think I've learned a lot as well from this conversation. Thank you, Han.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.